Welcome to KBS World Radio, everyone. Thank you for joining us on the weekend edition of Korea Book Club, where we play back our book segment from Wednesday's Korea 24. Here, we discuss what's happening in the world of literature with a focus on Korea. This is what we covered earlier in the week. Stay tuned.
For our first book club of the year, joining us now in the studio is literary critic Barry Welsh with another work for us to discover. Barry, hello, it's great to see you.
Yes, hi, great to be back.
Okay, so what book are you introducing to our listeners today?
So this week we're reviewing a short story called The Dark Jar Within the Snowman. The Korean title is Nun Saram Soke Komun Hangari, and it's by Kim So-jin. It was published in Korean in 1996, translated into English by Chris Choi, and published in English by Asia Publishers in 2013. And Kim So-jin is a distinguished figure in contemporary Korean literature and is renowned for his insightful storytelling and deep exploration of societal themes. He was born in 1963 and raised in the Miari neighborhood, which is in Gangwon-do, and his work was heavily influenced by the rapid urbanization and the cultural shifts within this neighborhood specifically, and with the wider Korean society in general. And his stories, the narratives that he tells, often delved into the complexities of modern Korean life, especially working class life, or often urban poor, and he would frequently examine the sort of relationship or interconnectedness between personal memory, his memories of growing up in this neighbourhood, and this sort of big social change that was happening. And his writing is characterised by a lyrical quality and his poignant portrayal of characters who grapple with the reality of this rapidly evolving and changing society in Korea in the 1980s and 1990s. And despite having this very local focus in his setting, many of his stories set in this neighbourhood of Miari that he grew up in, his stories are also universal stories. He writes about themes of loss, transformation, and just the endurance of the human spirit in difficult situations. And this story in particular, The Dark Jar Within the Snowman, cemented his status as a vital voice in Korean literature who was adept at capturing the nuances of both the human experience and these sort of specific challenges that we're facing contemporary Korea. Tragically, however, this was Kim's last published work, and he died the following year at the much too young age of just 33 in 1997.
Wow, I see. So that makes this work all the more poignant, it seems, then. So let's delve into the story itself. What is the central narrative about?
So The Dark Jar Within the Snowman, it's a poignant exploration of childhood memory and this relentless tide of urbanization, as Kim saw it. So the story is narrated by Min Hong, who is essentially a stand-in for Kim himself. Min Hong returns to his childhood neighborhood of Miari, which is now in the midst of redevelopment, and this visit triggers a flood of childhood memories. So it takes Min Hong and the reader back to his youth in the slums where he lived with his mother. And the central event of the narrative revolves around a sort of traumatic childhood incident. So one winter morning, young Min Hong accidentally makes a terrible mistake. He breaks a neighbour's jar of salted peppers, and he, panicked and fearing punishment from this intimidating neighbour, he conceals this broken jar inside a snowman, thinking this will hide his accident. And this act sort of symbolises his attempt to cover up his mistakes and this idea of the loss of innocence as he sort of tries to grapple with the consequences of his actions. And this memory of the broken jar hiding in the snowman, it becomes a motif throughout the rest of the story, and it represents Min Hong's childhood, Kim's childhood as well, and the secrets that we keep in general. And so as Min Hong revisits this old neighbourhood, he also encounters Chang-gi, who is a figure from his past, as a man who is involved in the neighbourhood's redevelopment, and he's also married to a girl who used to tease Min Hong as a child. And so he has these encounters, and they sort of evoke a sense of nostalgia and loss in him as he sort of witnesses the transformation of these once familiar surroundings into something completely unrecognizable. And the narrative is sort of interspersed with Min Hong's reflections on his mother, his childhood, and the societal changes that have shaped his life and are shaping the country as well. And the story culminates in a very poignant scene where Min Hong, feeling this deep sense of loss and helplessness, enters an empty house in the redevelopment area and sort of realizes that everything is lost. And Kim, he sort of juxtaposes this personal journey with the broader social changes, and it's a very poignant commentary on the costs of progress.
That sounds very moving, but also, I guess, deeply symbolic, that there's more going on under the surface. Can you elaborate on the themes of the story a bit more for us?
Okay, sure. So the story, a story is really just a meditation on several sort of themes that are connected. So the most prominent is the loss of innocence, and this is experienced by Min Hong, and it's symbolized by the snowman with the hidden pickle jar inside it. And then this theme is interwoven with the impact of urbanization, not just this sort of idea of a physical transformation of the neighborhood, but as this disruptor of personal experiences and communal memories and communal society in general. And then another significant theme is this idea of the struggle to adapt to societal changes, as seen through the responses of the different characters. So Min Hong and Changi and Changi's partner and Min Hong's mother. But what Kim also touches on are themes of nostalgia, the ephemeral nature of life, and just the general resilience of the human spirit in the face of change.
Yes, I can imagine that this story would particularly resonate with a certain generation of Koreans who saw the rapid development of Korea in the late 20th century firsthand. Mm-hmm. So what should we make of this work then, Barry? Why should our listeners consider adding The Dark Jar Within the Snowman to their reading list?
Yeah, right. So I think it is, it's a great story. It's very interesting. It has this eloquent exploration of themes. It doesn't have, much of a driving narrative behind it. It really is more of a mood, sort of exploring, using mood to explore these themes that are deeply Korean, but at the same time also, universally human. I think it's a story that will stay with you long after you've finished reading it, and perhaps might even prompt you to reflect on your own experiences of growth or change and the passage of time that we all experience, right? And Kim's storytelling is, I think it's poignant as well as being quite powerful, and I think it's an essential read for anyone who's interested in understanding the complexities of modern life or the impact of social changes and just the enduring nature of our memories and identity.
I think that is the key word for today, poignant. I think we mentioned it a few times.
Okay,
it is quite a moving work, it sounds like. Once again, it's called The Dark Jar Within the Snowman by Kim So-jin. And that was our pick for this week's Korea Book Club. Barry, thank you for your review. Till next time, take care and have a great week.
Okay, take care.
And that's all for this week's Korea Book Club. You can check out more of the works we discussed on our website at world.kbs.co.kr. Join us again next week.